Dr. Shaheda Omar is a clinical director at the Teddy Bear Foundation, and she joins us now via video link to unpack this further. Dr. Omar, very good afternoon to you. This is one again of those devastating stories. There's still so much uncertainty around what exactly happened to Jayden-Lee, but judging by just some of the testimony so far, he did endure severe abuse. I mean, what are some of your observations in this case that has shocked community members, especially after Tiffany Nicole Meek's arrest for her very own son's murder?
Well, I think, as we've discussed this before, the reality is that it's always perceived that the danger is outside of the family. Unfortunately, we are finding that more and more children are victimized within their own family units. And of course, this is not only shocking, alarming, but it's horrific. And it's even so difficult to come to terms with, to understand or make sense of this. And when you speak about Jayden-Lee, and one begins to think of what went through his mind in those last few moments of his life, what was he grappling with? What was he thinking that the very people that are supposed to have protected him, loved him, and provided security are the ones that have put him through this grueling end? I mean, it's just inconceivable. It's an enigma and, very scary. And of course, the message it conveys to society as a whole, to families, to children, how do they process this? How do they continue to trust their loved ones? And I think that is something that is really, really concerning.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to those words in terms of what may have been going on in Jayden's mind. I mean, when you look at just some of the statements that we are hearing, there are many statements that are contradicting Jayden's mother's statements, explosive testimony from the investigative officer just to some of the complex residents. What picture are we beginning to see here that speaks to the kind of parenting and caregivers that Jayden was surrounded by, do you think?
Well, there's inconsistencies. Firstly, we are seeing discrepancies in the different narratives that have been received. So again, I mean, the red flag is up, because we are finding that the inconsistencies, the contradictions, which indicates that what we are seeing and what we are hearing, that there isn't a correlation between what the mother has said and witnessed in terms of the demise of this child. So definitely there's, the reality is that there is more than what meets the eye here. That 2 and 2 does not add up to 4. And unfortunately, law has to take its course, because we have to look at the merits of the case. It's not about being judgmental or labeling somebody, but one has to look at the facts on the ground as it presents itself.
Yeah. And Dr. Omar, one of the things also that we're beginning to see is that, I mean, Jayden was surrounded by a number of people who saw him, or interacted rather with a number of people from the scholar transport that dropped him off. I mean, some of them insisting that he was dropped off, saying that I opened the door for him, to the security guard saying I opened the gate for him, I did see him come in. So you see that he was surrounded by people, including, of course, some of the people there in the complex. What are some of the telltale signs that people who are living in complexes, or any residential area for that matter, that are surrounded by children, to pick up on cases of abuse, if indeed this is the case here with Jayden?
So if, some of the telltale signs we find where children obviously are not fed adequately, children are not dressed appropriately. When we talk about appropriate dressing, it's that on a cold day, they're scantily dressed, on a hot day, wearing layers of clothing, children playing outside for lengthy periods of time, children being unsupervised, children coming late from school or going very early to school, wanting to be away from the home environment, children staying close to friends or neighbors, reaching out for a sense of security. Those are some of the telltale signs, but one would also see withdrawn behavior, a child becoming isolated, grades plummeting, appetites changing, sleeping patterns, where child's concentration span at school. So it's not only just the neighbors, one needs to extend this beyond the community that the child lives within. So even to the educational institutions where one has out for children, how are they performing? How are they responding? Is it appropriate? Is it adequate? Are they eating lunch at school? Are they being provided for? Are they coming on time? Are they leaving on? One would have to look out for, because that is something that would indicate that this child is in need of care or this child is at risk.
Yeah. Dr. Omar, thank you so much for your time. Just a pity that network was interrupting us at the end, but I think we understood your advice. Thank you so much also for your input. Dr. Shaheda Omar is a clinical director at the Teddy Bear Foundation, joining us there to speak more about this concerning case, of course.